Let's see if that works. Let me do an alert sound redeem, I guess. But yeah, my PNG tuner might be tweaking a little bit because, I don't know, it decided that it would be so. I don't know what audio it is, but okay. Let's see. Why are sound alerts not working for me? I cannot hear anything! What the hell? Why can't I hear stuff? I can't hear shit! What the fuck? Well, yeah, but I cannot. I cannot hear anything, and that is so sad. I guess audio alerts, people cannot... I guess I won't be able to hear your stuff today. That is so sad. That is so sad and evil. But, I mean... I guess I'll fix that later. Is it because sound alerts? No, because it should work. What the hell? Also, thank you so much for the subby. Thank you so much for the subby, Destiny. That is very, very nice of you. But yeah, so, I finally got the cable. Thankfully, it was indeed a cable problem. And not the worst option, which would have been a tablet problem, because guys, I would have had to get like $1,000. Would have been so bad. Thank you so much for the lurk, Fickle. Enjoy your herbaceous coffee bean. But, I got it installed. The guy who was supposed to install the Ethernet on the TV didn't come in, so, we're not gonna get super stable internet right now, I guess. As for my computer, apparently my computer has a fan issue. Which, you know, would explain the borderline face melting heat that irradiates out of this computer. But we're not gonna think about that. We're going to pretend that my computer is not at 96 degrees Celsius right now. We're gonna pretend that everything is hunky-dory. The only thing that I'm worried about is that my computer, while it was charging for like 3 hours and it was only at 28%. It refused to charge. Maybe I just connected it wrong. Maybe that just happened. I won't worry about it. It is something that we shan't complain about. Maybe if I pretend it isn't happening, maybe if I pretend that nothing is happening, I won't have to come to terms with the realization that the stupid fucking computer probably won't even last till the end of the year. Ugh, God damn it. Well, at least in better news, the mailing company from Colombia has been slowly giving me the refunds for the shipping items or for the shipments that I wasn't able to get to the United States, the ones that were stuck at customs and were just retained forever. So I'm slowly getting those refunds. I've gotten refunds for 3 out of the 10 so far. They did say that it would take a while, that it would take at least around like 30 business days, which usually is about 2 months. Around that much. Thank you for the lurk, Just Chill. Which is great because that means that I am less poor than usual. Keep in mind, I'm still poor because I got rejected for the credit card thingamabob. Apparently being an independent artist isn't very good for your credit. Because, you know, you have no proof of, like, income or whatever. But, you know, I can live with that. I can live with that, prospect. I mean, I have been applying for jobs lately, so hopefully I do get an answer. As for Other things, the Tomodachi Life Living the Dream demo. Have you guys played it? Have you guys played it? Have you guys played it? Because I have played it so hard. I am already on my second save, and oh my god, it is so good. It's so good, guys. It is so nice. And I'm going to play the fuck out of it once it's done. Especially because I have already asked permission to all of my VTuber friends so that we can make VTuber Island. And I'll make VTuber Island so hard. Another good thing about the Tomodachi Life demo is that you can actually create different islands on your different users. And since I already have all of my a ton of accounts for non-nefarious reasons. I have 2 accounts actually. One is Ghost, the other one is Blanket. I can have my personal account. Thank you for the kiss. Thank you for the kiss, X-Player. PNG2 is just waking out because of the audio. But thankfully, I am able to have like my own personal island, and then I can have an island for streams. I don't know how I'm going to do with the draw feature, with the face paint feature though, because even though I am able to draw with a stylus, whenever you're streaming through your Switch with a handy dandy capture card, you are stuck in dock mode. So painting can be very difficult because you cannot use a stylus, you cannot use your finger, you cannot use whatever you're using. So I'll probably rely a lot on editing the features, and that is something that I've been practicing on a lot. If you've seen it either on my Tumblr or on my Twitter, I have already posted a couple of screenshots. In fact, in Tumblr I have posted more because my personal island is going to be mostly Twisted Wonderland characters and OCs. So the OCs that I showed on my last stream, I'm probably going to add them, but also with my Twisted Wonderland characters. I have like a ton of accounts, and if I need to make another account, I'll just make another account. But yeah, let me just show you guys my attempts at doing more stuff with the Switch. Let me see. Boop! There we go. Give it a second. The PNG tuber needs a second to appear. There we go. We're back! Yeah, apparently sound alerts are not working regardless, so, you know what? I am going to pretend like that isn't a problem. That is what I'm gonna do. I am going to pretend to interact with all of your sound alerts. But yeah, these are my little guys. I have already tested like what I can do and what I cannot do. And these are based off of the Nui plushies. I don't know if you guys know what Nuis are, but they're basically like these little chibi guys. And I think that that would be like the best way to create characters that can still emote. Yeah, you know, like this, like the guys. And that way, you can only add cosmetics and such. This is my first attempt in which I was just using like very minimal face paint and just the features, and I think that I did pretty well. This is my second attempt with no eyes. That means that they won't be able to emote as much. They won't be able to blink. But I decided that I didn't want that. I think that it would be really weird if my Miis weren't able to emote. They weren't able to show their beautiful, beautiful emotions. So as for other Miis, I haven't really like tested out a ton of stuff. Oh, I made Stefan a Mii. I sort of like did it real quick and dirty because I I had asked permission for him if I could do him as a me for VTuber Island. And he said yes. And then he asked if he would even like be able to be made because, you know, he's a slime. I told him like, oh no, yeah, you're like super easy to make. So let me just show you guys. Boing. Look at him. That's Stefan. That's Stefan. What? And yeah, I have honestly been playing mostly the Tomodachi live demo while waiting for my tablet's cable to come in, because unfortunately my tablet continued tweaking out for the rest of the week. Like it just didn't want to work. I was really mean. But hello Jack. But thankfully it did arrive at a reasonable time. And as I said, thankfully it was a cable problem and not a tablet problem, or else that would have been a very, very expensive problem. Aside from that though, today we're going to sort of like make up for the Roche. We're going to make up for the... Why did I say Roche? For this No Miku stream that I was going to do. I was going to do more promo drawings. Thank you for the hydrate. I have nothing to drink right now. Thank you for the posture check. I have nothing to drink right now. Whoops. But I'll be making up for it. I am hoping to do more gaming streams. Of course, I will be playing the Tomodachi Life, living the dream. Demba. You're welcome, that'll be $5. Jack, I'm poor! The stupid cable costed $30. Hi, PK. Fine 3. No! I'm poor! Stop it! But, yeah, I will be doing more Hatsune Miku, Snow Miku promos, because even though we have been, like, at a stable 1k views, I am still in page 4. We haven't really gone up in pages. And, you know, for you to actually, like, be able to be noticed by the Snow Miku organizers, and so that you actually have a chance, I will want to be at least, like, on the first 3 pages. No, Jack. You know what? Just for that, you owe me $5. But I also really want to continue the OC stuff that we were talking about last stream. I just don't know if you guys would be interested in that. Especially because I gotta lock in on my commissions. I actually lost a ton of time. Because, of the tablet thing. So I might be but off the commissions once I'm done with this Miku promo. I'll give you an IOU. What is an IOU? Are you going to give me a stupid UTI? Guys, I think that Jack is going to give me an illness. That's so mean. I owe you. Yeah, you owe me $5. Given to me. Given to me right now. Now. Given to me now. I am in my poor beggar era. You guys already knew that. But yeah. That's sort of the plan for today. I just don't know, what would be a good drawing for this Snow Miku. I have so many ideas, but they're like smooshed over in my brain, kinda. So it does feel a little bit weird. Okay, so what you're telling me is that even if you give me an IOU, you won't pay me back. Is that what you're telling me? I think that you should be sent to the gulag for that. Mats! Send this guy to the Shadow Realm. Also, again, I'm really sorry about the background noise. I just don't know why my mic is picking up so many sounds. Yeah. You know, at first, for this, like, Snow Miku promo, I thought that maybe it would be really nice if I actually made like a sort of like storybook storyline. But I don't know if I'll have time. Like, I maybe would have had time if I had the if I had the what's it called? I guess if the tablet hadn't started tweaking out, I guess that's what I'm trying to say. But either way, making a storybook or making illustrations, even if it's just one page for a storybook, it does take time. And I don't know when the finalists of the Snow Miku contest will be chosen. Let me see. I really wanted to do the pose, for like the stateside Alyssa Liu thingy. I have been watching a ton more skating videos. And she was doing, for the stateside, she was doing the poses of the music video for the song by Pink Pantheress. And one of them is this really cute, like, sort of like hands back, slightly open position. I don't know how to call it. Yeah, let me see if I can find it. DuckDuckGo sometimes isn't the best for image search results, to be honest. I guess it's because they usually like take from Bing, and Bing it's not the best ever. But you know what? Whatever. There it is. That's the pose that I want. I am now realizing that you guys are not able to see it, but that's okay, guys, because I usually do not let you guys see my other screen because I have accidentally doxed myself so many times. I don't want to do that again. I cast the awkward moment where the waiter or waitress brings your food to the table and they say, "Enjoy your meal," and you say, "You too." Actually, Jack, that is something that is very like United States coded, in my opinion. Or not United States coded, but more like English language speaking coded. Because in Spanish, we don't really use the you too as much. But you know, I did once when I was little. Not when I was little, I'm speaking of as if I was a child. I mean, I was a child. I was like 16. Oh my god, 16 years old is like 9 years ago. Guys, I might be ancient. I might be actually like old as fuck. But either way, here in Colombia, we don't really do like, yeah, they say like, "Oh, enjoy your meal," but it's not the you too. Usually, we have like a different way of replying. So, that is something. You're like 40 now, right? Yeah, I'm actually 87. I'm actually like 67 years old. Wait, who else got the 6-7 emote? Is that Toby? Oh no, it's somebody who I don't know. Oh no, I don't like this pose. She's a sweet bird? Aw, that's cute. I feel like maybe this, isn't like the best configuration, but I don't know which would even be better. Maybe if I flip it. Yeah, maybe I'll flip it. She's a goofy little guy. I'm glad. I like goofy little guy streamers. Honestly, the person that we rated out Monday, they were so nice. They were so nice and so sweet, and I already followed them. And I have been having a ton of fun. And apparently they're mutuals with a ton of other people that I know, so that's really nice. Hi, Tommy! Hi, Tommy! Oh, hey, look, since I haven't been able to do much progress on your commission because of the horse, I haven't been able to do much with your, YCH, but I already am rendering it. Give me a second. I'm already rendering it. Look! Look, I have already started rendering the skin and adding makeup, and I added like this little like sparkles to the thighs, so you know, so that it looks nice. It looks birdie. I'm so glad, and again, I'm really sorry to all of the people that have commissioned me and have had their commissions delayed because of the stupid ass tablet problem. I was so frustrated, but also just really panicked, to be honest. Because I'm gonna be real for a second. But I am not getting that much money from streaming and art and commissions, so I am looking for a job right now. I'm like officially unemployed. So, me having to like do a very big buy with like a tablet or like a new computer parts or sending them to the shop, that's gonna have a hit on my financial situation, especially because I did switch my internet recently because of the whole like 5 days without internet. So I had to, change to a more expensive service, but at least one that is more reliable. I'm gonna get my Ethernet. Also, I forgot to add the pin message. Don't worry about that. But yeah, so, I have been trying to be as frugal as possible. Actually, I am hoping to maybe get the Tomodachi Life game. Even though I am hoping to get it, I am hoping to get it at, like, a discount. I'm gonna do my ghost magic. I'm gonna use my ghost magic to see if I can get it at a cheaper price. Let's see. Give me a second, Space Visitor sort of scrolled up. It's crazy because as I follow more people, the more I realize how interconnected people are. Like, I knew everyone is connected to everyone else in some kind of way. Yeah, the more, like, meet other people in the VTuber community, I realized just how small we are in hindsight. At the end of the day, like, I don't know how I managed to get like people like Static Tokyo or Yomi Quinley to follow me, but I guess they learned about me somewhere on the grapevine. You know, I don't complain. But yeah, it is really, really insane because, for example, who shares a manager with who? I think that Crony shares a manager with, like, Rin Penrose. I know that, Yomi and Jakobs and Sarah are pretty close. Of course, Yomi is, like, parts of SBA. I know that Maple is pretty big. Of course, with Maple, I also know, like Stefan and Beige, and, this Medium, etc., etc. Aw, I'm so glad. Maybe if you, like, gain enough points, and, they're streaming, or, she's streaming, I may be able to, like, rate out to them. You can suggest that I rate out to them. Monday we actually rated out to a new person because I didn't see any of my friends online. So I did take the chance to rate out to somebody new, and it was so nice. I ended up really liking the atmosphere there. I hope that you guys also enjoy that. Guys, I set up at like until like 3 a.m. yesterday just watching their stream. Because they were playing the Tomodachi Life demo and they were making their own little frog character. It was so funny. Guys, I am so excited for the Tomodachi Life demo, and I am so excited to make my friends. I might pre-record / pre-make some of the Miis so that I can use them later. But I am so glad. I am so glad that we are able to just have so much customization. I know that there are some bugs. Actually, yesterday I had one of the very common bugs that people have already found on this specific demo, and is that if you have already finished a demo, as in like finished it completely, and you log in between 9 p.m. and 10 a.m., the game will just... Yeah, Sevi's a good friend of mine. He is super chill. He's sort of like part of like the friend group of like Cuffs and Squippers and Welsh, Dio, and yeah, he's sort of like part of like the what I call like more like Cuffs adjacent friend circle. I like him. I actually invited him to the Minecraft servers. Yeah, I actually invited him to the bootcamp SMP Minecraft server, but he was like, nah, I don't think that it would be good for me because usually I just like mole. I become a mole and like to just go underground and mine like a little gnome, so I wouldn't really interact with that many people. That's cool. I love playing some games with him. I specifically love playing Peak with him, even if he dies like immediately. I think that it's really funny. Honestly, I need to play Peak with crowd control again, because last time we weren't able to play it because my computer couldn't handle it. But I'll just like prepare my Fugi. We'll have like a Fugi stream, and I'll actually try and get some friends to do it, or maybe I'll do solo because Salu already got he's also Hispanic. Yeah, he's Mexican American as far as I know. And he also knows Spanish, which is really nice because very few of my friends speak Spanish. So I'm glad, I'm really happy and excited whenever I see Spanish VTubers, Spanish speaking VTubers, especially if they're Colombian. Not to like rag, but not to like rag on other VTubers, but I get way more excited when I see a Colombian VTuber than another Hispanic VTuber, just because of the fact that a specific audio just plays in my mind. Whenever I hear it, I'm like, oh my gosh, that's my people. And it just is so fun to see more Colombian VTubers, especially because I only know 2 or 3 Colombian VTubers. As in, like, I follow them and they follow me. Yeah, it just hits different when they're from your country. It's like finding like a family member at the mall or something. Or like finding a friend randomly when you're going out. The adrenaline just hits different. The bug? Oh yeah, the bug, Ethan. So when you log in into Tomodachi Live, once you've already finished the demo, in between 9 p.m. and 10 a.m., the game will just crash. It'll just crash. And I realized that because I was editing the hair of one of my niece. And I don't know when exactly the bug came in, because I was there just editing and making the hair pretty for hours. But that happened, and I was so worried that my poor me wouldn't be saved, because it just crashed. I went to like grab a drink or grab a snack. I believe that it was a snack. I was getting a banana. Yippee! You see, ghosts are just cool. They're just super cool. And that's why there's so many of us, because we are superior. We are superior than all the other mythical, supernatural creatures. But yeah, I was doing the hair for me. I went to like get a snack, so the switch went into sleep mode. And then I checked it and saved the me, but I didn't save the game. And when I got out of the edit mode, the game just like went into a loading screen, and then it just crashed immediately. I was trying so hard to get it back to relaunch, but I just got error after error after error. And I was so worried that the hair wouldn't have been saved, or the face paint. It's more the face paint. I was just like texturing the face paint so that it would be more detailed. And thankfully it did save, but that was terrifying. Also, it is 8:59 p.m. right now in my country, so I'm sure that if I tried to open the completed save, it would also start glitching out again. Good thing is that I have already ran out of money on that save, so I probably won't be opening it until launch date. I already have a second save where I'm just experimenting with stuff. I do hope that for the finished version, they do fix some of the bugs that I have found. Not just that one bug, which was terrifying, which I'm pretty sure it's probably exclusive to the demo version, because some people have theorized that it's probably because the game is trying to make It's probably trying to make the Miis go to sleep, but since at the end of the demo they just sort of become little like robots advertising the game, they know they don't really go to sleep, and that those two codes are sort of conflicting with each other, which makes the game crash. So that is sort of like the theory. The other theory is that it might be because the game is trying to like transfer or sort of like transition into the second day or next day, but it doesn't let it because, you know, it is a demo. So the day is locked or the progression is locked. As for the reliability of those theories, I think that the first one, as in like the one where the Miis are trying to go to sleep but it doesn't allow it, is the more reasonable one, because you see, for games like Tomodachi Life and Animal Crossing, the day actually starts at 5 a.m. I believe. So I don't think that it's the game time passing or the day passing, and it's more like something about having to go to sleep, especially because Miis and no, my wisps. Especially because Miis usually have dream events, which should be triggered, unless you have completed the demo, in which then nothing will happen. Yeah, I'm super excited. I'll probably, if I'm gonna do any face paint for VTuber Island, I'm probably going to do it like after the stream ends, and then you'll be seeing like them having a makeover, because then I wouldn't be able to do much about it with the docked switch. Oh gosh. Studio problems are going to kill me. Honestly, I know that I need to take this computer to the shop. It's just that I don't have the funds right now. I don't have the funds right now. One good thing though is that I actually got a filtered showered head from Amazon. It has absolutely changed my life. As you guys know, I have eczema, and my old shower head was pretty nasty looking. It was pretty evil. Ricky, congratulations. But, thankfully, I convinced my mom that maybe I should probably change my shower head to a filtered one. And she let me, and I got a filtered shower head from Amazon, and the change is insane. I no longer feel extremely itchy when I get out of the shower, and I no longer have super dry skin, which, I mean, I still have dry skin because of course eczema is just a condition that I have, but on the very least I don't want to peel my skin off, and I don't need to moisturize as often as I usually have to. Because when you have eczema, you actually have to moisturize at least like twice a day. And before then, even when I applied the cream, even when I applied the moisturizer, I would still feel super itchy. So I'm glad that it has at least fixed some of my problems, and hopefully that also helps with my back acne. Because unfortunately, even though back acne shouldn't really bother me that much, because I don't really wear backless stuff, I do have something that is a result of my anxiety disorder. It's called dermatillomania. For those who do not know, basically you guys know trichotillomania, which is the compulsion of tearing your hair out, or sort of like ripping hair out of your skull. So that is trichotillomania, and dermatillomania is instead of you wanting to tear your hair off, or like tearing your hair off, you actually pick your skin and you scratch yourself, and you pick until you get really nasty scars. And one of the main problems on my dermatillomania, like one of the main triggers, is me feeling like little acne bumps on my back. And that usually, even if they're imaginary or not, and just like feeling the grease on it. And it just it just has made it so that my back has really, really, really bad acne scarring, or just scarring in general, because sometimes it isn't even acne. It's just like imagined. Because at the end of the day, it's just a compulsive disorder. But on the very least, my dermatillomania has gone down through the years, and it is actually, oh my gosh, I'm blind. The reason why I got dermatillomania, or I started having that compulsion for skin picking specifically, is because I once had a very painful pimple that had just matured. I don't remember if it was on my back or something. It was probably on my back. But either way, I was a teenager, I had a really bad pimple, and I had to pop it. Like, it was the only way that it would get out. And even though I hated the idea of popping pimples and stuff, I did it, and the pain went away. So now I just compulsively pick at my skin so that I won't have to experience the pain of having another, like, very, very big, very painful pimple again. So that is actually something that does trigger me, and I do have skin picking or pimple popping videos banned in all of my feed, because it does trigger my dermatillomania, and it will make me really, really self-conscious about any little bump or thing that I feel on my skin, which will result in me compulsively picking and usually just tearing chunks of skin off. I actually have some scars from my collarbone, in which I got like a very little pimple, but I just picked at it until I just made a stupid hole. I have a stupid hole on my skin. But yeah. The shower filter has been a godsend, and I'm so glad that I got it. Especially because even though it is pretty expensive if I add shipping, it has helped with my quality of life. And that is always good. You cannot really like put a price on your peace of mind. I mean, I am broke, so maybe I should be putting a price on it. But either way, I am very glad that I was able to have that improvement, that small improvement in my day-to-day life. As for now, I'm still not very confident on going to the gym. I still am very self-conscious about going to the gym, but recently my feed has gotten a lot of like diable exercise videos, and I'm tempted to try some. I'm sure that it will like kill me, but if they have proper like warming up, I might not be as destroyed the morning after. So who knows? But I would really like to start doing exercise at home on the very least. Because I have been noticing that just my physical health has gotten worse. And my sleep schedule has also gotten worse lately. And they did say that doing exercise in the morning would help with that. Like with my energy levels and all that. So I'll definitely try and do that. I'll definitely make myself a little schedule. And I'll be able to maybe get myself a ton more alarms so that I don't flake out of it. I need to like peer pressure myself into doing that kind of stuff, which can be very difficult when you don't have any like consequences, and like immediate consequences for not doing something. That's cool. Speaking of scheduling though, I have become a little bit addicted to stationery. To Japanese stationery. I might have to actually block the Bungu store, TikTok, and YouTube Shorts accounts from my feed, because I have already bought some stuff. I mean, it's... Well, am I even kidding? It is bad. But, I'll get better, I promise. I promise. But I am hoping that that will also encourage me to actually, use my journal more. Not journal, but like scheduler? I don't know how you guys call it. A planner. Yeah, a planner. And that way, with a planner, actually physical planners, I'll be able to remember stuff more clearly. Actually, I do need to write stuff down so that I can remember it better. So, this would be a great way for me to start actually doing stuff that I have to do. I have to do stinky work, but I'll probably be back in a few. Of course! Have fun at Workspace, Blade Wizard. I hope that you will make a lot of money. I hope you make a ton of money and then you get everything always and forever, and that you get a raise, and that you will become Employee of the Month, and that you get promoted, and that you get a super cool job. Yeah. But yeah, as for the stationery that I have bought, well, you guys already know, I bought the Pilot Kakuno fountain pen. I have liked fountain pens for a while, but I felt like the one that I had bought, or at least I didn't know, but the one that I have bought is very scratchy, so it isn't as satisfying to write with. And also another problem is that fountain pens have very wet ink. And since I am left-handed, that means that a ton of times it will just smudge a ton. So you actually have to learn how to write a different way. You have to learn how to write in a different like hand position. So instead of putting your hand above or over where you're writing, you have to actually write from below. And that is a learning curve. So even though I really did like all of the inks that I have a ton of inks. Usually I use them for like brushing stuff, for adding extra details to my traditional drawings. I unfortunately didn't use the fountain pens as much because it just was difficult at the end of the day. That was it. And the feel of it just felt very scratchy, so I didn't really use it because it wasn't satisfying. It didn't feel good. And if you guys know, if you're autistic, if something doesn't feel good, you will simply not do it. You will simply not use it. And that happens a ton of times with a ton of things for me. But then I found the Pilot Kakuno because a friend from the Ever After High Discord was like, hey, so the Ferris wheel press fountain pens are actually not that good. You should try the fountain pens from Pilot, which are very beginner friendly. They're very cheap compared to the Ferris wheel ones, and you will get definitely a better feel for like what a good fountain pen feels like. And I fell in love with it. They were right. The Pilot Kakuno pen is so cute. And it is so smooth. I just love it. And I ended up buying more. Because, of course, you have the one with the black ink. With the cartridges. Non-refillable. But, I still wanted to have other pens so that I could fill them with other inks. Because, you know, only one isn't enough, obviously. Hello, Daddy, how you doing? Welcome. Finally, the cable is here, so I'll be able to draw without having to have a flickering screen all over. Or without having my tablet just, like, black out. Daddy, thank you so much for the tier 1 subby! I'm so sorry, sound alerts aren't really working for me, so I might miss it, but don't worry, I'm still reading chat, so I'll be figuring stuff out eventually. Yeah, I don't know why my sound alert suddenly started not working. Like, even the local alerts. Or, well, no. I'm pretty sure that it's just the sound alerts thingamabob. Because the radio alert, I think that it works. Yeah, last time we did it, it worked. Last time somebody rated in. And, obviously the ones that are locally in my computer should also work. But yeah, I think that I'm going to actually remove sound alerts completely and move all of my old audios to a local file, to either Sammy or mix it up. Probably mix it up because it is faster. And that way they will play locally for me and then be transmitted to the stream, which will make it way, way, way easier. This song is so good. Speaking of songs, I know that I already said that Dracula by Tame Impala is actually the song that inspired me to do the stream, the Osa stream on Monday, but I didn't realize that there was a Jenny version of it. And like, no shade to Jenny, because I do like her voice. I think that she's got a really pretty voice, but I just don't think that her feature was good. I think that, I don't know how to say it, but I feel like Dracula is like a very yearny song. Like, it has a ton of emotion. And the verses that Jenny sings, it just feels like she's just like singing them in like a karaoke or something. Like, she doesn't really like try to set the same emotion of the song. She doesn't really like match the emotion. It's more like as if you were just like singing the lyrics without that much. But yeah. No, wait until the end of the stream because you never know if they'll go. You never know if they'll be online later once I'm ready to raid out. So I don't do the redeem until after I'm ready to raid out. Or else you might lose your points, and I don't want to do that. I don't want you to lose your points. So that's my recommendation. Oh, yeah, I mean, I still like it. I still like the song, but if I were to say which one do you prefer, the original or the Jenny feature, the originals absolutely beats it. And you know, I'm not an original version purist. Sometimes I do like covers more than the originals. For example, video games by Lana Del Rey, I think. I actually really love the cover by Trixie Mattel. I think that Trixie Mattel somehow embodied the song better. And it does feel like the better version, to like, for a lack of a better word. Then again, I barely have listened to Lana Del Rey. I only have listened to her like once or twice, and that was like because a friend asked me to listen to her. I didn't really vibe. So I guess that could also be it. But as for like maybe songs that I do really like, and that I prefer the cover version of, Life on Mars by David Bowie is a very, very good song. I really love it. But this is my controversial opinion. I like the Jessica Lange American Horror Story version more. Which is insane. I know that if I said that to one of my rock fan friends, that'll probably burn me at the stake. But I don't know. It might be because of like the whole like storyline of American Horror Story Freak Show, which is when the song cover was performed. But it just feels so like tragic, so heartfelt and tragic and like bittersweet to me when I listen to the cover version. So maybe it's like the emotional connection that I have it. I still like both. I still listen to both either way. But the Jessica Lange version just hits different. Another song is Somebody That I Used to Know. It's a song that I really, really love. And even though I don't think it's better, I definitely don't think it's better, the cover by Your Favorite Martian, it also like makes the song just still sound very, very good, and it makes it like, it gives it a different vibe that still really, that fits really, really well. Yet it like sort of like changes the meaning of the song a little bit just by the way that they have, by the sounds that they've chosen and the small changes in tempo. And honestly, I think that's really, really cool. I think that I have already said that I really like the video games cover by Trixie Mattel, but again, there's another video games cover by... Wait, I remember. Shit, what's the name of the band? Ugh. It should be in here somewhere. But another video games cover, not the Trixie Mattel one, but another one. Actually, it's also really, really good, and it gives it like, it gives the song another meaning. Oh, The Young Professionals. There we go. The video games cover by The Young Professionals is also an amazing cover of video games, and I love it. And I both the Trixie version and the Young Professionals version equally, because they both are singing the same song. They both have like taken from the original, but then they have added changes. They have added like their own personal flavor to it that makes it so unique, and that sort of like changes the vibe of the song to the way that it doesn't feel the same way. And it does like have like so many like, it changes like their relationship that is sort of like related in the video games, song, because obviously video games is a love song. I think that in the original Lana Del Rey version, or at least from what I've been told by Lana Del Rey friends, or by fans that like Lana Del Rey, the original video games is more like bitter. Like, video games is more like about a girl that feels like she's being ignored by their partner's video games. I may be talking out of my ass. This conversation was had a long time ago. But either way, the Trixie Mattel version and the Young Professionals version actually feels like this is somebody who not only like doesn't feel overshadowed by video games, but it feels like you fell in love with somebody who has like the same hobbies and you, and that you just like connect. And video games is like your way to bond, and I think that's really sweet. I think that sort of like change in tone of the song makes it just so much more like relatable to me, I guess. Because I love video games, and I believe that video games has allowed me to bond with so many people that I would have never really, that I never would have really talked to if we didn't have like that topic in common. And I think that's really sweet. It's really nice. Oh, Fricky, you like Lana? I do have some friends that like Lana Del Rey. She is pretty popular. Yeah, I guess since I was a teenager in 2016 and stuff, Lana Del Rey was pretty popular back then in like the alt circles. So I did have a ton of friends that listened to her and tried to get me into liking her. I don't know. I guess it just wasn't my vibe. Which is really funny because most of the time, if you show me a song, I will like it. My music taste is very, very wide. And it's very, very widespread. And usually I don't really like mind listening to music, but I guess there are some artists that I don't vibe with as much. Like, their music doesn't really like do that. But yeah, I haven't heard that cover, but I'll check it out. Let me just write it over here. Or I can just put it on the... I can just put it on the queue. I can just put it on the queue, yeah. Put it after Zombie Boy. And that way you can listen to it. The Trixie Mattel cover is an experience, to be honest. I love it, and I can't believe that I got my mom to listen to Trixie Mattel because of that. Because she really liked the video games cover. And I think it's really funny that I got my mom to listen to, like, drag queen musicians. Okay, this is a video games cover by the Young Professionals. Into the Spotify thingy works? Yeah. Okay, good. I'm in his favorite sundress, watching me get undressed, take that body downtown. It's loving you, but baby, now you do. You guys like it? Do you guys like the cover? But yeah, it just feels like so much sweeter. Like, yeah, when you found someone who matches your freak and you're really happy about it. And I think that's just a really sweet message to have on a song, in my opinion. It's okay if you didn't like it, Fuki. People have different tastes in music. I respect that. Speaking of, my mom was asking me about the Joe's Klein concert, and she was so adamant on buying an extra ticket so that somebody would come with me. Because she was scared. She was scared that I was going to a concert alone. Because of the venue. Like, the venue isn't even that bad. It is like a very popular venue, and it is a college area. It is like part of like a... Not a college town, we don't really have that here because dorms are not super common. But, my mom didn't like the area the concert was being held on, like the neighborhood in general. And she was so adamant on buying an extra ticket so that somebody would come with me. And she was like, why don't you invite your dad? Why don't you invite your dad to the concert? I'm like, Mom, my dad, like, yeah, he likes techno, but I don't think that he would survive a rave. Because Joe's Kind's concerts are pretty much just raves. And, my mom was like, well, yeah, but it's not to enjoy it, it's just so that we can go with you. Guys, I need to remind you, I turned 25 this year. I turned stupid 25 years old this year. And my mom still wants to babysit my going outs. I mean, they did tell me that they did want me to at least pick me up, personally. Which, I mean, I think that you shouldn't, like, waste your sleep for me, but that was, like, the compromise. Either one of them had to go with me to the concert, or, they would pick me up. They would, like, take me and pick me up. So, yeah, I decided that they would just, like, pick me up because, I mean... I know that they're not going to feel comfortable and they're not gonna be very... They're not gonna enjoy a Joe's Klein concert. And I would probably have to look out for them more than they would have to look out for me. But still, it's really sweet. It's really, really sweet. But I believe I am old enough to go to a concert by myself. By the way, the reason why my parents are so protective of me is because I believe that in English you guys have like a concept called like a rainbow child. Yeah, I think that that's what it's called. So my parents are pretty protective because of that. And of course, because I was a very sickly kid. And because I was bullied when I was a baby. And because I have an anxiety disorder. But, they're just a little bit of a worry word. I'll be okay. I'll be okay. I'm sure nothing bad will ever happen at a Joe's Klein concert, I think. I have seen the videos of, like, some of the concerts, like, little snippets here and there. And it does look really, really cool. I'll obviously wear, sound reduction earphones. That is just necessary for me to go out. Either way. But I am excited. I am excited. Okay, ad break will end in 1 minute. I'll be right back and I need to go to the bathroom. Blah! Okay, I'm back. Sorry. Hehe. Give me a second. Sorry about the wait. I was getting myself something to drink. Now that this song isn't here, actually, it does come into the topic because, yeah, no mosh pit for me. I definitely die if I got into a mosh pit. Have I ever told you guys that I actually got trampled on twice at my school? Once in high school, once in like middle school. As in like the middle school, high school versions because I went to a K-12 school. Or I guess K-11 in my situation. But yeah, I have maybe the reason why I have severe anxiety within tight crowds is because I have been trampled twice. But either way, I actually went to a Mother concert and my dad actually wanted to chaperone me. My dad went with me as like a little chaperone. Like he was just like, well, I was like getting closer so that I would like be able to see the band better because this was a standing concert, so you didn't really have like any divided areas for either like VIP, general admission, etc. You didn't have that. So you would be able to get basically on the front. And since my dad and I arrived pretty early, we're able to get a pretty good spot. But even so, usually the areas that are closest to the artists are going to get very, very crowded very, very quickly. Because of course, everybody wants to interact with them. Everybody wants to like see all cool stuff. But of course, it was very crowded. So either way, while I was like getting close, and while like the concert was going on, somebody actually fainted inside of like the mosh pit area. And it was actually my wisps. My poor little wisps. No. Why must you do that to them? That's so mean. But yeah, basically, as I was saying, I was actually very surprised because they Mother actually ended up stopping the concert, and they like made sure that the guy was okay, made sure that they brought water, that everything will be fine. And then they continued on, and I think that was really cool that they actually physically stopped the concert to make sure somebody was okay. That doesn't often happen in bigger concerts. But yeah, so obviously I'm not going to be like anywhere near the mosh pit area or quote unquote like grave area or gather area for the Joe's Klein concert. But either way, while I was like having fun in the concert, listening to all the lyrics, like jumping up and down, etc., my dad was just like standing in the sideline, so awkward. Like it was so obvious he didn't come to this concert because he liked the band. He was just there to like be there. And I thought that was so funny, but also really sad. Like, Dad, you didn't need to come here. You didn't need to do that. But, well, I guess it just comes to show that my parents really care. They care a lot, and I appreciate that. But also, I am 25. I think that I should be able to handle going somewhere by myself. Even if it's a little bit late at night. You're a whole ass adult. Yeah, I'm in my mid-20s. I'm in my stupid mid-20s. And yet I mean, I get it. I'm like their baby. I'm still their baby. In their eyes, I guess. And my sister does mention that a lot. She mentions that my dads are actually pretty protective with me. And I didn't know this. I didn't know this until like later, but my friends actually thought that my parents were super strict. Like they had a reputation for being strict in my friend group. Because of how little like they allowed me to like go out and stuff. Or well, allowed me to go out by myself would be the better word. You know, I thought that it was pretty funny because I always thought that my parents were protective, but not like super strict. Actually, I thought that they were pretty chill compared to other parents. But then again, I guess they had the luxury of being pretty chill either way. Because I was a pretty chill kid. I was pretty well behaved either way. Quarter life crisis soon. Dude, I have been on a quarter life crisis. Like, my friends have 9 to 5s. They're doing all this stuff. My best friend is planning to move out this year to like her own little apartment. Well, it isn't her own, but she is like renting her own apartment and she'll be moving out. And I'm just here drawing anime girls on the internet. And getting no replies from any of my work, any of my stupid job applications. I know that the job market in general is just... I know that the job market in general is just pretty shitty right now, but still, please, just one job. But you know what? I'm actually, like, very wary about sending any job applications right now. Like, I used to send them a lot more, but not right now. Because every time I send a stupid job application somewhere, whether it is LinkedIn or something, I only get calls from Shein. Telling me, like, oh yeah, you should totally try Shein and sell Shein things for, like, be a Shein reseller. I'm like, no. Fuck you. What the fuck? So yeah. I guess you can tell that it isn't really like safe, which is sad because supposedly LinkedIn is supposed to be a Shein reseller. Basically means that you buy clothes on Shein and then you resell them like for a premium. That is what being a Shein reseller is. It's basically like buying from Goodwill and then putting stuff on eBay, but even more evil. I don't know which one is more evil, like getting stuff from Goodwill and then selling them at an up, or buying stuff from Shein and selling them at like an upcharge. I think that both are evil in different ways. Actually, you know what? I think that the buying from Goodwill and then selling on an upcharge is less evil, just because I do know that a ton of specifically women, a ton of people, and as I said, specifically women, actually use that tactic whenever they're like pretty desperate for money, so that they can actually like make some money while they're looking for a job. So it isn't like something permanent, but it's something they use so that they can supplement their things. They can supplement their income while they found a more stable job. So I guess I'd put that as less evil, but Shein is just straight up capitalism. They're actually recruiting sort of like, it feels like very MLM-y, right? It feels like a pyramid scheme to me. Because, yeah, I buy the stuff from Shein, but then what if I don't make any sales? I'm just left with like stupid end up with a stupid surcharge of product that I never sell. And then they might even come up to me and be like, hey, but if you recruit more machine resellers, then maybe you'll be able to like get some more money. We'll give you like a bonus or something. I'm like, no. But yeah, again, the way is that, and also the thing that makes me think that it's even more shady is because how the fuck did they get my phone number? How the fuck did they get my cell phone number? That is, I'm pretty sure that LinkedIn is just like outright selling information. Because how did all of those Shein bots sell my get my number so that they can pester me about those calls when I just applied for a job as like a graphic designer or an illustrator? I don't know what reverse scalpers is. But yeah, no, scalpers are also evil. I don't like them. But yeah, so the thing is that's why I think that it's so... Oh, I don't think that reverse scalpers would be bad then, because you're selling them for cheaper. But yeah, the reason why I think that it's so shady and why I don't trust it at all is because they only call me whenever I apply for a job. So whenever I send an application through LinkedIn or through whichever website it redirects me to, because some websites have like their own like quote unquote like personalized application website, the next day I get so many calls from quite literally robot voices that are like, hello, we heard that you're looking for a job. Do you want to apply to be a Shein reseller? And then I block the number. And then the next time I apply for a job, I get the same stupid calls. So yeah, I'm pretty sure that somebody somewhere is selling my info. Which is the worst thing ever. Because my phone already gets so many spam calls from other things. I don't need any more extra spam calls to wake me up at 7 stupid a.m. in the morning. To tell me to change my stupid phone plan, or to be a Shein reseller, or to get optic fiber internet for cheaper than my current internet. But yeah, that has been a struggle from wanting to get a stupid job. And also not many jobs for illustrators in general. Only graphic designers. Which is, again, pretty unfortunate, because I am an illustrator. I am someone that illustrates. Graphic design is not my passion. And, I mean, I do have skip graphic design stuff on my Beacon, but I only added them because people were asking for it. Go to harvestmydata.pog and we'll make you famous. God damn it, Stefan! How dare you, Stefan? Harvestmydata.pog. So fucking funny. I'm sure that somebody uses that domain. But yeah, unfortunately not many jobs for people in my area in the first place. You don't need to steal it, you came up with that. by yourself because you're super smart. Also, hello, Stefan. How you doing? How you doing, Stefan? But yeah, not a lot of illustration jobs that I can get for like this salary. And graphic design is not my passion, so even though I do apply for them, I know that I'll be most likely miserable. So yeah, just a little bit rough. Honestly, I'd rather become a customer service. I'd rather get a customer service job than become a graphic designer. That's how much I hate graphic design. I'm glad that you're doing swell. How are you doing with your music? Did you finish the assets that you were doing last night? Oh my gosh, 2016? Kinda? Well, I'm glad that you're at least making progress, you know? Unlike me. Because apparently this year has decided that I'm going to have a hurdle at every single second. Like, every month I have had some sort of problem that hasn't allowed me to stream or to draw or to do anything business related. This morning I had to record VHS footage. Ooh! That's so cool. I'm really, really glad that you're making good progress on that. Because that's look really cool. So, I don't know if like, I like it, but I don't know, I feel like I could make it, like, more dynamic. Like, it doesn't feel very, like, movement. I'm just saying words now, but you guys know what I mean, right? You guys know what I mean. It doesn't feel very movement. Like, yeah, I feel like this is way more... I like this pose from the concept is way more dynamic than what I've got right now. Also, like, I don't want to break my Miku's legs accidentally. Which, I mean, I think that I probably already did, but you know what I'm talking about. Like, you know. So now I'm just thinking, maybe this pose was, like, flawed from the start. When did this album come out? Like what, 2014, 2015? Maybe 2015. Yeah. Wait, does that mean that this album is like... Oh my god, it was 2015. I remember it because one of my friends is a very big fan of Fall Out Boy. And of course, 2015, 2016 was like their height. Guys, I'm stupid ancient. What the hell? This album should not be 11 years old. It should be like 5 years old max. No, actually, I could tolerate 7 years old. Me, don't go wasting your emotion. I wonder if this is what my mom feels whenever one of her favorite artists die. Like when David Bowie died. Did she also feel like she was like shriveling up like a prune? Guys, do you think my mom thinks that she's shriveling up like a prune? Again, what the? What is this? Okay, there we go. That was weird. I don't know why that changed, but okay. But I guess it just comes to show that time really does pass. Because I mean, people are calling Vocaloid songs that came out in like, I don't know, 2015. They're calling them like old school Vocaloid, and that's so painful. Like, no, that song is new, shut up. The song came out yesterday. And it is so mean that you are trying to like make me notice the passage of time. But also, it's just so weird. And again, I have been seeing TikToks of kids being like, I was born in the wrong era, and putting quote-unquote nostalgia stuff from like, again, 2016, 2015, like stupid Lana Del Rey and Fall Out Boy and 21 Pilots and who else? Not My Chemical Romance. My Chemical Romance had already disbanded by that point. But music that I listened to, or that my friends listened to when I was a teenager. Oh, wait. Maybe BTS. Yeah, BTS was super popular. Like, it had just popped off by that time. And they were like, I was wrong in the wrong era. Like, no the fuck you didn't. You're like a baby. Why are you on the internet? You should go to your mom and be like, Goo Goo Gaga. Go take a nap or something. Drink your milkies. Again, I get it, because like everyone has had like their own I assume so, because we're all adults here. I assume that everybody has had like their own little generational trauma when they see somebody be like, I was born in the wrong generation, and it's your generation, as if you were stupid ancient, as if you were born in like World War I and we're 100 years old. But yeah, it's really odd. It is really odd. I mean, on the very least, at least us like at least my friends and I are already like realizing, yeah, time is passing. Time is passing. Things are different. For example, I have seen people that are like artists on VGen already getting like caught by the most stupid, like, basic internet safety scams. I'm like, what the hell are you doing, buddy? Like, didn't they teach you this at school? And then I remember, oh yeah, IT classes are no longer taught at school. Because I guess adults thought that kids were just born with that. Which honestly, it's just bad practice. Kids shouldn't be on the internet that young, and even if they're already like older, they should know basic internet safety, like not click random links. Because I don't know if you guys have seen it on Twitter and stuff, but basically this person got commissioned on VGen, this artist, and they actually were talking to like the person and stuff, and they sent them a fake link. They sent them what I assume is a phishing link, phishing as in PHI phishing. Which took their credit card, PayPal information and stuff, and stole about $1,000 from them. And either way, they were like calling out VGen for it, which I'm sorry that this happened to you. It is very, very awful. And I know that hackers and all that people are becoming smarter each and every day. I did get my account hacked, even though I'm usually pretty careful about stuff. But, dude, you don't just click any link people send you. That is Internet Safety 101. One of the first things that you're taught is to not click any internet. Any link, any internet. And as bad as I feel for them, the fact that they're blaming VGen is just not very good, because again, it isn't VGen's fault. Unfortunately, VGen had nothing to do with that. And actually, this is why older websites, like for example DeviantArt, was on the internet for a very, very long time. It has been there for a while. And even though it is awful and evil and fucked up and it is full of AI slop now, every time you click a link on DeviantArt, they will first redirect you to like, are you sure? Are you sure that you wanna exit DeviantArt? You're like exiting our domain, and that could be dangerous. Would you like to return there? In fact, let me show you. This is my DeviantArt account, which I don't use. It is archived because Free Palestine and fuck AI. Because for those who do not know, DeviantArt is owned by Wix, which is an Israeli website, and they have done campaigns supporting Israel. Which, as you guys know, I am very, very much against, like every other decent human being on Earth. But, for example, let me click one of these links. We've got my Tumblr, my Instagram. Let's go to my Tumblr. What the... Oh, right, it's because I used to be the Blanket Ghost. Whoops! Yeah, let me do something else. For example, let me see. Over here. There we go. Oh, wait, they stopped doing the redirect thing? That's so weird. But back in the day, DeviantArt had like a redirect warning page. I don't know how that happened. Hey, I have 54 points. That could get me a pixel icon from like a teenager that doesn't know that points are basically just like pennies. Yeah. They used to have redirect stuff. And also now that I know that this is outdated, let me put Blanket or Ghost instead. For my Tumblr. Tumblr! But yeah, I used to be the Blanket Ghost. I had to change it because I simply couldn't get that username in most areas. Yeah, this used to have like a redirect thing. I guess they got rid of it. Let me see if I can like find the screenshot. like redirect warning page. And see, this is why DuckDuckGo isn't that good for images. That is the one time I use Google. It's for like image search. Huh, I guess nobody saved screenshots of the DeviantArt redirect page? No. But yeah, older websites used to have DeviantArt redirect warnings and stuff. I guess they no longer have that. But again, since the internet wasn't as like centralized as it is today, oh, I see. Maybe it's because I was logged in. Or maybe it's because it was some pages that I already had like an account logged in. That could be it. But either way. That was used very, very often because the internet wasn't as centralized, and suspicious links were one of like the first things that people warned you about. So most of the time, pages like DeviantArt and old school MySpace doesn't have it anymore, and that I know for certain because I have a MySpace page that I haven't touched in ages, and I remember it having a redirect warning. Because people didn't really know. Like, the internet was very, very young at that time. So a ton of people just clicked links without even knowing. And that was like a safety buffer that a lot of pages had. Of course, people now assume that if you're gonna click a link, you know what's gonna be in it. But unfortunately, people have become more ignorant about internet safety as the decades pass, which is again really, really sad because things like this happen. But that is something that is not because of the website you're in, but it's about like your own internet safety education. Like somebody failed you in not teaching you that basic internet stuff. But blaming the websites is not the way to go, especially because anybody can make a client account on Bsky. Bsky only asks for strict verification for artists, which is very, very difficult to get, apparently. Some people haven't been able to get verified for a while. But anybody can make a client account on Bsky, and you can even do so, like, you can ask for commissions as a guest. I have had clients from the Ever After High Fandom Wiki that have commissioned me through Bsky as a guest. Which means that they won't be able to verify every single person that comes into their website. It's usually younger people. The problem is that apparently younger people are now like 17, 18, 19, and that can become a very big problem very fast. Because this is something that they should have learned, but their parents and their teachers, their education system, failed them. And now they gotta learn the hard way. They're gonna have to learn the hard lessons that people 20, 40 years ago, not 40 years ago, the internet still wasn't widely available in the 80s. 30 years ago had learned. But yeah, it's very, very unfortunate. I do hope that they get their money back, but I also do hope that this serves for other people as a lesson to not click any suspicious links. To not click any link that people give you. Because the fake links scam, sometimes it can be pretty obvious, like the porn bot thingy. When a porn bot sends you a link or something, they're like, check out my pictures over here, wink wink, or the Bitcoin thing. But I think that people fail to realize is that there are scammers for every single type of thing ever. There are scammers for art, asking for commissions. There are scammers for dating websites. There are scammers for just like people wanting to make friends. There are scammers for games, for partnerships. Like, I'm pretty sure that there was a scandal in which a lot of YouTubers got hacked because they got given partnership links by a suspicious person, which ended up just being a phishing link. Oh yeah, I remember it. It was because VTubers got like a fake Hololive, I think Hololive or a B Shoujo, I don't remember, link because they were like quote unquote accepted, and they were given a random link for onboarding and they got hacked. That was something that happened about maybe like 1 or 2 years ago. So of course there's something like that. As I told you, stupid Sheen now has my phone number so that they can pester me. But yeah, scammers come in every shape and form possible. And that is something that you just gotta be wary of, unfortunately. As much as I wish I could trust people face value, in this day and age, it's just not a luxury that I can afford, or that anybody can afford in this day and age. By the way, did I ever tell you guys a story when I got robbed in 2018? I got robbed in 2017 and I got my shit stolen in 2018, because I think that being robbed and having something stolen from you is different. Unfortunately, there's like 2 different words here in Spanish, and I'm pretty sure that maybe there's like a word in English for what I'm talking about. But okay, so the one that I'm talking about in 2018, and it was a strategy that I thought was so heinous and evil and fucked up. But basically, this was on my this was on my freshman year of university. And I had gotten off 6 p.m. classes. So it was around... Hello, Space Wizard. How was work? I'm just telling you the story of how I got my phone stolen. But basically, I was getting back from college at a bus. Buses get really, really cramped here in Colombia. Imagine like a packed subway and like New York or something. We also have that same problem here in Bogota because we are the capital city. But either way, I was going back. It was around like 6 p.m., 7 p.m. So the sun was already going down, the bus was packed. I was listening to music on my phone through wired earphones. I hadn't yet made the change to Bluetooth earphones because I thought that wired earphones were safer, ironically. But either way, I had already like basically gotten home. I was almost home. And I tapped the little button, I pressed a little button to tell the bus driver that I was getting off at the same station, and went out to the back so that I would get off. It was very tight because, again, unfortunately, the bus was packed. It was peak hours. I'm still at work, just not actively taking calls anymore. I see. Are you perchance somebody that shells out Shein stuff? You know, just out of curiosity. Do you do Shein promotions? You know, just like out of blue. But I was getting off, and then this old guy apparently was also getting off at the same time as me, because he also got to the door area. And so I did, and I pressed the button. And then there was when the bus stopped, it was a very stark stop. It was very it was very strong. I don't know how to say it. Like they pressed the brakes, like they slammed the brakes. Yeah, that's the word, or that's the expression. And even though I managed to keep my balance, the old guy did fall on me. I was like, oh my goodness, poor old guy. Let me help you up, sir, because I am an outstanding citizen. And then I got off the bus, being like, yeah, I am such a good Samaritan. And of course, people like falling or stumbling on the bus isn't really that uncommon, because there's always going to be bus drivers that are pretty bad at it, that are not good at their job. And so I was pretty okay with myself. I was like going home, and I was just about to like head out to cross the street so that I would head to my apartment, when I realized I can't hear music anymore. Like, there's no music coming out from my earphones. Did like my music pause or something? Was the playlist over and I forgot to put a loop? And that's when I like slowly slid out my earphones from the backpack, because usually I put my phone as like deep as possible so that this exact thing wouldn't happen. And well, the earphones had nothing attached to them. And that's when I realized, stupid old guy didn't stumble into me because he fell. He fake stumbled into me so that he could get his grubby old man hands on my backpack and steal my phone. He stole my stupid phone. And the worst thing is that I had forgotten my keys. And my parents arrived home at 8 p.m. It was 6 p.m. And I wouldn't be able to even like get to the front, to like the building area. I would have to like wait at the front desk. I was so panicked. And when I realized, first of all, one thing about me is that my fight or flight instinct usually goes into fight mode instead of flight mode. So I actually, when I realized that it was the stupid old man, I was like, I can take an old guy. I can take an old guy in a fight. So I ran towards the bus. Thankfully, it was a traffic jam, so the bus wasn't really like that far away. There was a traffic jam, and I got to the bus. I was like, open that door! Where's that stupid old man? Give me my stupid phone back. And all of the people were like, yeah, no, that old guy got off with you, so we don't know where he is. And I then went out of the bus and like ran in both directions to see if I could find the old guy walking around with my stupid phone in his hands, his grubby little old man's. And of course I didn't find him. Like, obviously his methodology was that he would get into a bus, steal something, then get off and immediately get to another bus so that he wouldn't be found. And so obviously my phone was just gone. It did hit me real hard because I had some like puppy pictures of my childhood dog. He wasn't dead at this time, but still. Those were like the only photos that I had taken, and I had them for years. So I was really sad about them. And also the phone was fairly new. It was like only a couple months old. And of course, I was sad that my practically brand new phone got stolen. And another thing is that back in the day, since people didn't really have didn't really have phones in hand, or people used to call people a lot more, our service providers, they actually charge for minutes, for the minutes that you were on call with someone. And usually when you run out of minutes, or you didn't even have a phone to call someone, you would go into a corner shop and ask to buy some minutes. Unfortunately, this was 2018, and in 2018, buying minutes had become obsolete. Most people didn't really buy minutes because they either just use WhatsApp, or a lot of phone providers just offered infinite minutes. So I was locked out of my house. I had no phone, and if I remember correctly, I also didn't have like that much money. That was back when I didn't have a debit card or a credit card. Oh wait, no, I did have a debit card, but of course I didn't have that much money on it. I was a teenager. And so I realized, first of all, I believe that my mom was on a business trip, which was bad, because that means one less person that I can talk to. And second bad thing, my dad's phone, I didn't really remember it very well, because as you guys know, I have already said this like 100,000 times, but I have dyscalculia, so remembering phone numbers is very, very difficult for me. And the only phone number I know by heart is my mom's and mine. But my dad, since he had a ton of repeating threes on it, I think that it has like 4 or 3 trees on it, some of them repeating, I couldn't really like find like a mnemonic or a pattern that I could use so that I could memorize it better. And so I didn't really remember it very well. And my dad was the only one that would be able to actually come home and open the door for me. And since my dad was still actively working, he usually came home really, really late. My mom usually came home at like 8, which wouldn't have been too bad. But my dad usually came home at 10. It was 7 p.m. And so I was panicking, and I decided, hey, there's a mall nearby. Let me just run to it as fast as I can, and with every single like shop that I come to, ask them if they sell minutes. Of course, none of the stupid shops on the way sold minutes. That was very outdated. But either way, I went to like a tech kiosk on one of the on one of like the areas of the mall. I don't know what the word would be in English, but either way, I found it. And even though they didn't sell minutes, the guy probably looked at me like a sopping wet dog that was about to stupid cry. And they were like, you know what? We might not sell minutes, but I'm just gonna lend you my phone. I'm just gonna lend you my phone. Go call whoever you need to call. I was so thankful, but it took me, I believe, like 3 or 4 tries to remember my dad's phone. I was so both upset and embarrassed and panicked, because what if the guy thought that I was actually a scammer? What if he thought that I would steal his phone? What if this was like a new way of like stealing people's phones? Either way, I managed to call my dad, and my dad was like, damn, that sucks. And eventually, of course, he came home. It did take him like 2 hours-ish, because he was at the other side of the city. And eventually I was able to come back home and tell the story. But then my parents were like, hey, we're gonna buy you another phone, but it's gonna be a lower gamma. It's actually going to be a worse phone than the one that you had stolen, so that we would avoid it being stolen. And I was really sad because that was a very good phone. It was one of like the latest models at the time. I was really excited about it because I could finally play stupid Cookie Run Kingdom on it. And yeah. And this is why I don't have puppy pictures of my childhood dog. But yeah, I still think about that day really, really bitterly because I had technically done everything right. I hadn't taken my phone out or anything. I hadn't like taken any calls or messaged or checked anything, especially because at that time I didn't really have an internet plan. I didn't have an internet plan or data on my phone. Data wasn't really that common either. Right. And I got scolded by my parents for trying to chase that old guy. But I don't think that my parents get it. The guy used the sneaky stealing kind of technique. If he had like something on him, he probably would have like tried and threatened me to like get the phone. But he used a sneaky tactic, so probably he didn't have like any weapons or something. If I had confronted him, I would have probably broken his neck. I mean, what's he gonna do? Hit me with his cane? He didn't even have a cane. Yeah, I am still really angry about that stupid old man, and that's when I decided I'm never going to be nice to anybody ever again. I'm never going to be nice to anybody who needs help on the streets. You never know what's going to happen. And the other time I got robbed, that one is like proper robbed. There was like, this was actually my senior year in high school with my best friend, so 2017. And usually, I took this shortcut through like a small park where people walk their dogs. It was pretty empty, but it was usually considered safe because people walk their dogs, or at least I thought it was safe. And this guy, and then, wait, no, first, I was tutoring my friend for math, ironically, because for some reason, even though I have dyscalculia, math, until my senior year, or until like my high school years, was actually a pretty okay subject. I think that once they started combining letters and numbers, that's when it got fucked up in my brain. And even so, I usually prefer letter-only math problems. I think that they're way better and way cooler. But either way, that time, I realized, hey, I ran out of my drywall marker, or my whiteboard marker. Yeah, that's the name. Let's go to one of the stores nearby so that I can get another one, and I can then get we can get to studying, because studying with pen and paper in a bedroom can be pretty bad, but you can actually use whiteboard markers on Windows, and then it is actually like a pretty fun way of tutoring your friends. I think that it's a really nice way of doing so. And while we were going out, my mom, who was at the house at the time, was like, hey, don't go through the park area because that's dangerous. People have been like getting robbed in there. And well, it was still daytime. It was like 3 p.m. at the time. And we went through the parks, even though my friend was scared, because I was like, nah, let's go through here. Nothing's gonna happen to us. Don't worry about it. And nothing happened on our way to the shop. We quite literally only had, like, my bag was fully empty. I had like $5 for the marker and my ID. And that was it. So I was like, hey, even if we do get robbed, like, what are they gonna grab from us? My stupid bag with nothing on it? And so, either way, we went on the way to the store. Nothing happened. We were all happy. And then we bought the marker. And then we were on our way back. We went through the park again. And as soon as, like, we were almost home, we were quite literally a block away. Or less than a block away. I was talking to my friend and I was like, see, I told you nothing bad was going to happen. Nothing was gonna happen. See, you can trust me, baby girl. Guys, as I was in the middle of that sentence, I felt a dog on my little backpack. On my little, like, bag that I had brought. And then when we turned around, there was this guy trying to, like, tear my backpack off me, and we struck, and he was like, give me that backpack. He didn't have, like, any visible weapons. We don't know if he had any weapons either way, but he was like, give me the backpack, and I froze, and I held onto that backpack for dear life, because the irony was just too much. Like, how fucking dare he try to steal from me when I was telling my friend then that we wouldn't get robbed. That was very rude. So I just, like, held onto the backpack for a lot of time while I thought about it. And by the way, one thing that you can know about me is that I have a very strong grip. I have very, very, very strong grip. So even though I am not very strong in other things, if you have me grab something, I will not let go of it, no matter how hard you try. Because I guess all of my strength was transferred into my fingies, and nothing else. But either way, we struggled while I thought about what to do, and then I thought, like, well, it's not like I have much of anything there. It's not like I have anything important in there. I guess the guy can have it. I don't even like the bag that much. It's kind of ugly. So I guess he can have it. And so I let it go. And then, for a split second, I remembered, wait. This bag is a gift from my sister. Which had just, like, moved to the United States. 2, it has my ID, and even though I honestly, like, could care less about my ID being stolen, I just thought about, like, the whole process of getting back your ID can be really annoying. And 3, if my mom knew that we went through the park area that she warned me about and that we got robbed, I would be in trouble. And I was more scared of my mother than of the stupid thief. So, obviously, when I let go of the bag, the guy ran, but once I realized that I would get punished for getting my bag stolen, or, well, I probably wouldn't have gotten punished, but you know how teenage brains work. If I would get in trouble for having my bag stolen, I was like, I'm getting my stupid bag back. I'm getting my stupid bag. So I ran like hell. And I am a very fast runner. I have very high speed, very low stamina. Not a very good build. But either way, I managed to catch up to him enough. And we were on the main street. On, like, a very busy street of the area. He had probably tried to go and lose me within the crowd. But then I screamed as loud as I could. Thief! He took my fucking bag! There's a thief! And thankfully, the people around managed to, like, stop him. And it was, like, a guy with his girlfriend. He managed to, like, tackle him and get the backpack. And then the thief, out of, like, rage, he kicked the guy on the shins and then ran away. I was very thankful to the guy. I got my backpack. I didn't get I didn't get scolded because I told my friend that we would never speak about this. And I did feel bad because when I thanked the guy for it, for like getting my bag back and for like stopping the thief, he was like, yeah, no problem. Yeah, no problem. It's okay. And then he like went back to walking and he was limping because he got kicked in the shin so hard, and I felt so bad for the guy. But that's when my friend realized, oh, I'm stupid scary. I am either very, very scary or very stupid to go after a thief. And also she realized that I'm very, very fast because the guy had a lead. Because I stopped to think about the consequences of my actions for a split second before I went out to get him. And I managed to catch up to him real quick. Or at least my friend wasn't able to catch up to me. She struggled to catch up to me at that time. But yeah. I still find my parents, I don't think that they know about it. I don't think that I ever told them. I know that my friend ended up telling her parents, but her parents only know Chinese, so what are they gonna do? It's not like they would tattle on me with Google Translate. But, either way, I thought that it was a very funny story because it made me realize I am more scared of my parents than of getting robbed at gunpoint or something. And I know that it was probably like a very stupid thing to do because, I mean, that guy could have had a weapon. Like, sure, I didn't see anything in the struggle, but he could have had something on his, like, bag or anything. And he was dressed up real nice. Like, he was dressed up as if he was, like, one of the residents. He had, like, expensive clothes and glasses and a very nice watch. So you wouldn't really suspect him as a thief. Anyway. The ugly bag survived for a couple more years until it was no longer, like, usable anymore. Because even though I didn't like how it looked, I thought that it was really ugly. It was very practical, so I still use it. I still used it until it was no longer usable. And I had my $2 change. I managed to still have my $2 change. And even though I would switch to the adult's ID, 2 years after, I still have my childhood ID because of that. Because I didn't relent. I didn't let a stupid thief steal from me ever again. But yeah, I don't know what that story tells about me, but I still think that it's really funny. I mean, by that time too, like, I probably would have fainted because of the exertion of running like hell. But I think that the adrenaline made it so that even though I probably had already, like, spent up all my sugar reserves, I was still able to go back home and then live to tell the tale. Because, as you guys know, I have non-diabetic hypoglycemia, and sometimes if I exert myself too much, I will faint. Or I will have, like, a little, like, sugar down. Like, I will have a sugar crash. In fact, when I was, I believe this was also in my senior year of high school, so 2017. And we were doing the 100-meter race, you know, as per usual. And I don't remember why exactly, but I was like, you know what? I want to be the fastest. I want to be the fastest little guy around. And so when my name was called, I ran like stupid hell, and I actually got the fastest time for the girls. Again, I am not binary, use they them, but Colombia's not ready for that. Colombia's not ready for cool people like me. But either way, I got the fastest time. I was like, yippee, yippee, I am the best. And then I sat down, and then I started feeling a little bit woozy. And this class was about like maybe half an hour away from lunch, maybe even less. No, definitely a little bit, like maybe half an hour, 45 minutes before lunch. And, you know, even though I felt woozy, I didn't like feel bad per se. I was just thinking like, yeah, this is probably just me being tired from giving it my all physical education on PE. So I didn't pay it any mind, and when the class ended, we all went back to the classroom. And our history teacher, because we had the history at the next period, was waiting for us at the door to make sure that none of us would like play hooky from getting back to the classroom from the field where we did our physical education stuff. And I was the last one to come in. I was one of the last ones because I was... I haven't muted this whole time. How long have I been muted? How long have I been muted? Because I have been telling stories like hell, and I think that you missed at least 2. I have not been? Then why did it say that I was muted? Okay, good. What was the last thing you heard? What was the last thing you heard? Like, what was the last story you heard? Talking about... oh, okay. So I had a history class next, and my teacher was waiting in the classroom, like, making a tally so that nobody would be playing hooky and try to get out of class by like hiding while going back from the physical education area, like the little field area where we did our physical education classes. And I was one of the last ones to get in because I first wanted to like go to the bathroom, grab a drink, and just not exert myself too much. And so, well, I was getting back to the classroom. My history teacher saw me, and he just looked at me like, stopped me from getting in. And I was like, what is it? I'm ready to learn, teach. Give me all the history. Especially because I really like history. It was one of my favorite classes in school. And my history teacher just stopped me at the door, at the entrance, and was like, "Ghost. You look like a fucking ghost. You're pale as fuck. You're as white as the stupid blanket. It's a stupid blanket you have on you right now. You're like as white as a sheet of paper." And I was like, "What do you mean, teach? I feel amazing. Come on, it's class time. Let's go." And then I stumbled, and my teacher was like, "Yeah, no, go to the nurse's office because you are looking pale as hell, and you don't look good enough to be in my class right now." And so, despite my protests, one of my classmates that she didn't have any sugar issues as far as I'm aware, but she did have some physical issues, like some issues that did have her exempt from like physical education and stuff, from some things of physical education. And she took me in and she was like, "Yeah, so your face usually is like very..." They literally told me, "You have like this very cute flush face. You usually have like rosy cheeks and stuff, like naturally rose cheeks. So it is very obvious when you become pale or when your face goes white or even when you blush. It is just very obvious. In fact, they describe it like quite literally, I have a colorful face. And so whenever I am sick or whenever I am like low on sugar and stuff, it really is noticeable. And she was like, yeah, you look really, really bad. And she led me to the nurse's office. I almost fainted on the way. And and that's when I realized, oh, I have... That's when, like, they called my parents, of course. And the nurse was like, yeah, so your child had a sugar crash. Since it is very close to lunchtime, we're just going to, like, give them a drink and then they'll have lunch earlier so that they can recover their sugar levels. Yeah, probably take them to, like, a doctor or something. Especially because that had happened, like, at a karate class before. I had almost fainted at a karate class. And I just thought that I had, like, overexerted myself at karate. Because that can happen. Sometimes you feel too much like Karate Kid and overexert your body. But then I realized, oh, apparently it is not normal to feel like you're about to faint when you do exercise. Or it is not normal to get the shivers, the shivers when you haven't eaten for like 3 hours and such. Like, that is not normal. The human body can usually handle about 5 hours of not eating without dying. And yeah, I think that the reason why my classmates didn't feel jealous or feel peeved that I later was allowed to eat during class so that I would keep my sugar levels up is because they saw me, like, get physically ill. And they were like, yeah, you know what? Yeah, that I guess Ghost is now allowed to eat in class or else they'll stupid die. And yeah, so that's why I was, like, really surprised that I didn't get a sugar crash, because by that time I had already learned about my hypoglycemia. And you know what I also learned? Is that apparently Moo Clover, so the person that I'm using the tutorials touring my VTuber model from, also has non-diabetic hypoglycemia. It's just really interesting. Yeah. I guess the lesson of the story is don't steal from me or I will find you. That is the lesson that I took away from it. At the end of the day, I haven't been killed yet, so I think that's a positive. I haven't gotten shot. I haven't gotten stabbed. So methinks that I should be allowed to continue to chase after thieves like a vigilante. Nothing bad will ever happen. Nothing bad ever happens to the blanket ghosts, obviously. Either way, wait, no, I actually did tell my parents a story about the thief that I chased down. That I actually did end up, like, sort of catching, or getting somebody else to catch. And they did realize that, because I remember telling them, and they were like, Ghost, it is very nice that you managed to get your shit back, but never do that ever again. What if the guy had a gun? What if the guy had a knife? And then I was like, but he didn't. He didn't have a gun or a knife, so I don't see what's the problem. And honestly, I would do it again. If I were put in the same exact situation, I would do it again. I would kick that guy on the nuts. Because, I mean, I'm gonna be stupid honest. The reason why I didn't even, like, bother to fight for the bag that one time, like, at that specific second, was because I didn't even like the bag in the first place. So I was like, oh, excuse to, like, no longer use that bag. Because, of course, when you are when you get like a gift from one of your close family members and you're from Latin America, you sort of feel this obligation to use it. People are going to ask about why you haven't used the thing that they've given you. And I didn't want to like get questioned about that, so I did use that bag. Whenever I had to, whenever it like felt appropriate. So I was like, it's not like I'm losing anything. It's not like I'm losing anything by getting this bag stolen from me. Even I'm pretty sure that's just like a you thing, because I have friends from the US that weren't allowed to eat in class. Like a ton of schools don't allow it to eat in class. Especially like most public schools, at least from what people that live in the US have told me. It might be just your general area or your specific school, because most schools definitely do not allow eating in class unless you have like a medical condition. Sort of like how no electronics allowed unless you've got like a heart thing or are diabetic, etc., etc. But yeah, I was allowed to eat during class. We did have like specific break times for eating in class, but those were breaks. And apparently people in high school in the US don't get break times. They don't get like recess. And I think that's so sad. Here in Colombia, we have 2 recesses. Well, depending on the school you're in. Some schools are morning only. Some public schools are morning only. So when you head out to lunch, you no longer need to go back to school. But some are like all day long, 7 to 3 p.m., 7:30 to 3 p.m. And we have 2 breaks, one in the morning, one in the afternoon. And the break in the morning, you also have like a little snack. You have what we call the onces, which is quite literally it just means 11s, plural, because you are getting a little snack at around that time. For us, it was 10 a.m. actually. And so we had like a half an hour break from 10 to 10:30 to eat a snack and relax and stuff, and then go back to class. And then we had the lunch break, which was at 1 p.m. It was at like 1:30 p.m. for elementary schoolers and 2 p.m. for high schoolers. So when I got diagnosed with diabetic hypoglycemia, I actually ended up having to, even though I was in high school, I ended up having to eat lunch with the elementary schoolers, because I couldn't be left without eating for that long amount of time, from like 10 a.m. till 2 p.m. It was too much for my body. But that's a good thing, because that just meant that I had like a get out of jail free card for eating during any situation, whether it is work or high school or university. I could just tell my teachers like, yeah, I have hypoglycemia, I am hypoglycemic, and I am supposed to eat at specific hours, or else my body will shut down. It was like a very cool privilege. The only times I did feel bad was whenever I got like more smelly snack items, because I guess one thing that I haven't told you guys about, but I actually had like an actual diet made by a nutritionist, made specifically so that I would gain weight, because the reason why I have non-diabetic hypoglycemia is because I have a very, very fast metabolism. So I was underweight. I wasn't able to put on weight no matter how much I ate. And I also got tired really fast because my body didn't have any reserves. And of course, now we know that part of the reason of that was because I had chronic iron deficiency. Because I had a coagulation thingy disorder. Sorta. It's weird. But either way. So I had a nutritionist actually make up a diet that was specifically made for me to gain weight. Which I think that many people don't really realize, that nutritionists don't only give you diets to lose weight, but they also can give you diets to gain weight and so that you can bulk up. My goal weight was to get to 50 kilograms at least, and my weight was very unstable. It still is pretty unstable. But I ended up actually getting a special diet, and so I had to eat specific amounts of protein with specific, like, I don't know how to call it. What's that? Like carbohydrates. I had to have like a specific amount of protein and carbohydrates so that I would be able to develop more muscle. And so one of the ways that like I would get it, one of them was ham. Ham is okay. Ham doesn't really smell that much. But then sometimes I would have like this individual tins of tuna. This small, like pocket-sized tins of tuna to snack on. I felt so bad whenever I had to eat them during class because fish is smelly. Tuna is smelly. Like, even when they're fresh, the smell does linger for a little bit. And it can be really annoying. So I usually try and reserve the tuna only for when I was either on break or I would just like excuse myself during class so that I wouldn't stink up the whole classroom with tuna smell. Beef hand ghost. See, beef hand ghost. Yeah, that's just me eating my snack for the day. I still don't understand the edit. I have decided to not question it. Even though it sometimes pops up in my mind. Like how ketchup on Rice Krispie pops up on Salu's brain. I'm sure that it still haunts him. But yeah. I did get a ton of cool snacks though. I definitely like got more into snacking once I realized that I was hypoglycemic. Before I didn't really snack much. Even when I was little, I guess my parents never really like imbued into me a culture of snacking. You're bulking? Dude, I still got a bulk. I'm still quote-unquote underweight. My BMI is pretty low. And I still don't have a stable weight. That's why you broke your tablet, you're so buff. I didn't break my tablet though. The cable was broken. I'm pretty sure it was heat damage from the computer. That's my main theory, because it was specifically the HDMI. Like the HDMI part of the cable. By the way, if you guys don't know, I use an Artist 12 tablet, which has a triple cable. I just like show you the cable that I need for my tablet. And so one of them the cable is basically like a composite cable. There it is. It's a composite thick cable, so HDMI, the connector to the specific tablet, the energy cable, which is the red one, and the USB cable that connects the software, that it actually makes it like identify it as an actual device for the computer. So all of these cables, like all three, we tested them separately. We sort of like tested if it was like either voltage or if it was either the connection, and it wasn't that. Thank you for the stretch. And thank you for the posture check. I have run out of my drink though. I no longer have hot chocolate. But anyway, we did the tests and it seemed like it wasn't any of those. So as a last option, we decided, hey, maybe let's try the HDMI. Let's see if it's an HDMI connection. Oh, congratulations, Jack, for being the most bloodthirsty wisp. And that's when we ended up realizing, oh, it's probably the HDMI, because the HDMI is the only cable that connects from the back of the computer where the fans are, where like the exhaust of the fans is and all of the hot air comes out of. And since the HDMI cable is composite, and so it like is pretty thick on the back, every time I move my computer, it does sort of like bump into the wall, because this stupid laptop is built roulette? Holy shit! Are we gamba? Gamba? Guys, it's gamba time! Wait, I had no idea I had a roulette thing. Where the fuck is this coming from? Oh, it's from Stream Avatars! Shit! Oh my gosh, you're rich! Jack be profen? Let's fucking go! Whoa, yummy! Come on! So, yeah. My theory as to why the cable got damaged is because this computer is so badly built that they decided to put the HDMI port on the exhaust, knowing that this computer reaches ungodly temperatures, and that cables can actually get heat damage. So yeah, I think that's the reason. I be profit all night, baby! Let's go! Let's take ibuprofen together. But, thankfully, we did manage to get the cable, even though it was fucking expensive. Like, why is this cable $30 stupid? By the way, thank you, Freak, for donating money. That was really nice of you, even though I told you not to do it. Can it run OG Doom at least? I'm sure that it can run OG Doom. If it has a screen, it can run Doom. If it has at least 2 colors, it can play Bad Apple. That's just how it is. Was that? You're quite lucky. How about Crisis? You want more money? No! No! Do not give me more money. Unless it's for a commission. I'll kill you. I'll fly to Australia and beat you the fuck up. In front of your kid too. Welcome in, new viewer. Who is a new viewer? If it has a screen, it hopefully can run a blanket stream. So true. Wait, that's me, wrong person. Yeah. I think that you just welcomed yourself in. Welcome in, new viewer. Yeah, very new viewer, Freak of Earth. They have never been in a blanket stream ever. Jack, why are you shooting friendly fire? Oh my god, I can't believe Freak isn't subscribed. I just realized! The joke doesn't work because Freak doesn't have the founder's badge. It's okay. You don't need to be subbed. Okay, give me a second. I need to find a reference for ice skates. Because I have no idea how the blades look from the front. Are they just like stupid, yeah, they're just like a stupid blade. Okay, just like a blade, quite literally just a blade. Okay. And they also have like serrated ends. I guess that's so that they can, new viewers getting a little out of hand, I know. No! I guess it's so that the skaters can sort of like use it as brakes, like the serrated parts of the skate. Honestly, I'm not even sure that I'll finish this period because I gotta focus on the commissions. I gotta focus on the commissions. Yay. Also, by the way, Kid has made me addicted to Water Park Simulator. While I wasn't able to draw, I just sort of like booted up Water Park Simulator and made my own little water park, and it's called Evil Water Park, and it's already at 2.5 stars. So, I don't know why I'm like this. I don't know why I'm like this. Also, guys, I think that I'm going to stop stream very soon for now because my throat is starting to hurt. Or not hurt, but it definitely does feel raspy, and I'm pretty sure it's because I haven't streamed in so long. I haven't streamed, and since I don't usually talk very much in real life, my throat is no longer used to it. So I think that for the sake of not killing my voice, especially since we're going to do Call of Cthulhu Sunday with GL, I'm gonna end stream a little bit early. I know. So sad. So sad. I know that you guys cry yourselves to sleep whenever there is not a blanket or ghost stream. But yeah, I mean, I already knew that I wasn't going to finish this Miko today. That was sort of a given. Yeah. Oh my gosh! Oh god. Thank you so much for the raid, Charlie! I am so sorry! Oh yeah, you're still owed a raid, Freaky. Is the person that you want me to raid out to free? Because I could do that, but oh my god, thank you so much for the raid. I'm so sorry. I quite literally was about to end stream. What the hell? Also, why is my birthday hat not working? Birthday hat? There we go. Oh my god, the physics on this edition is a little bit weird. Yeah, Ethan made a bug. It's all good. I'm J-playing. Wait, Ethan has already redeemed? Let me see. Oh, Shinsta312. Let's see if I can raid out to them then. Also, let me do blocking raids. I'm so sorry, Charlie! Well, thank you so much for the raid. I guess since I'm about to end stream, feel free to raid and run. No problem. Also, you were playing 100% orange juice. That's so cool. Yay! Okay, we're going to be writing out to Shinsta 312. You're playing Crime Simulator. Ooh. Again, thank you guys so much for coming, and thank you so much for your patience, given all of the problems that we've been having with the stupid cable. But thankfully they have already been fixed. And I am going to write out now. Or at least, like, put the countdown to write. By the way, if you guys haven't checked out my Snow Miko, please check her out. I really would appreciate it if you guys also shared the link around, because the popularity is counted via views. So if you guys, like, open the website and see my Miku, it'll be automatically logged as a view. You don't even have to log in or anything. And that will help me out a lot. So, here's my raid message and my raid message for subs. Please copy it if you're going to join me in this raid. And if you don't want to join me, that is 100% okay. Feel free to join my Discord. I usually post updates for most of it. It is actually the place where I mainly post updates. So if you want to be, like, up to date on my streams or whatever I'm doing, feel free to join in. We also have very cool people there. All of my precious wisps. And if you don't want to get pinged, or if you don't like joining Discords, you can also follow me on my socials. I'm Blanca Ghost on most social media. Except for my YouTube, in which I am the Blanca Ghost. Or Blanket or Bots for my VOD videos. But yeah, have a good evening, night, morning, afternoon, wherever you are. I'll see you guys Sunday for Call of Cthulhu with GLBT. Bye bye!